Hello? Yes. Uh-huh. From where? Harry. Oh, Harry, hey, what's up, buddy? Uh-huh. Yeah, long time no hear. How's everything? Okay. Good, I'm happy to hear that. Okay, you just came back from where? An estate sale. Video games, you say? Really?
Rep the set, yeah. Gotta rep the set. Chase a chick, never chase a, no chase no mask.
YouTube, what's up? Welcome back. We're here again, another episode of Vintage Game Finder. BGF here, of course, aka Needs Miles 07. Good to see you. Good to be back. It's been a great couple of weeks. I've been enjoying. Well, Father's Day. By the time you see this, has already passed. But I enjoyed Father's Day as I always do. And hopefully all the gamer dads out there did as well. From our house to yours, happy Father's Day, even though it's a little belated by now. But yeah, I want to go ahead before I show you what I got from my barnyard adventure the other day. I want to go ahead and show you what I got for Father's Day from a good friend of mine named Lisa. Lisa, if you're watching, of course, thank you. You're the best. You're awesome, and I really appreciate your friendship. Thank you very much. So she went ahead and hooked this up for Father's Day, which, you know, she knows I'm a gamer. So let's go ahead and take a look what she got me. She got me 20-ounce gamer's mug. It's right here. Which is, I mean, it's cute. I'm gonna end up using it. I love coffee, and this will be definitely something that I could use. So she gave me that. She gave me another officially licensed Nintendo DS little carry case, which is comes in handy with my kids because they tend to leave their DS in all kinds of different places all over the house, in the car and everything. So if they have at least this little case, it'll be a little bit easier for me to find. And then she hooked it up with some games, which is always welcome in this house, especially if it's not in the collection already. So again, Lisa, thank you. I appreciate it. You're awesome. She hooked it up with Electronic Arts PS1 copy of Road Rash Jailbreak. It's not the best of the Road Rash series. We know that for sure. Every gamer knows, but it's one that I was looking for my collection. You know, I like, especially on the PS1 end, I like oddities, bookend titles, I like to call them. So this is always a welcome addition to the collection. So that is awesome. And last but not least, she hooked it up with again another bookend game that needs to be in any gamer or slash collector's stash. That this title needs to be in your collection for sure, and that's F-Zero for the Super Nintendo. So nice and clean and minty. She tells me she found this in her friend's garage, that she was about to have like one of those charity sales. So I was very excited when she found this, especially with the label and the condition it's in. So alright, so from what you deciphered more or less in the beginning of the video, we managed to pick up some pretty nice stuff from this barnyard, or the gentleman that owns the barnyard, I should say. He was a former customer of mine, and even when I wasn't in that area anymore, because I changed, well, actually I got promoted to some other office that wasn't nearby to his residence. So we always kept in touch because he always had at least one or two garage sales out of his it looks like, I want to say it looks like a hangar, like an old school 40s airplane hangar, but it's a little bit smaller, but he has 2 levels, and it's just chock full of all these wonderful and obscure items from all over the country. What this guy does basically is he gets in his RV with his wife. He goes to different spots in the country. He goes to estate sales or storage unit auctions, and he takes that, he brings it back, and he makes his side money doing those garage sales once or twice a month on his property, which is pretty awesome. So him knowing what kind of hobby I was into and what I was looking for, we kept the lines of communication open. And this time when he came back with a sizable, he had maybe 2 aisles in his garage slash hangar, or whatever you want to call it. Was just all electronics. I mean, I seen things, I seen Tandy units from Radio Shack, like old school stuff, Amiga games, Atari, 5200 games, 2600 games. It was just whole kinds of things that he had there. I mean, some of it I already had, obviously, so I left behind. But the stuff I do have here is stuff that I didn't have in the collection, so I wanted to make sure that I got it, and more important than that, I wanted to make sure I got it for under retail. Alright, with that being said, let's go ahead and start digging in here and see what we picked up for this video. Let's go ahead and get the consoles out the way. I got a couple consoles that I already own, but I still picked them up if one, the price is good, and 2, I know somebody that's looking for it that I could either gift it to them or give it to them at a price that I come away happy and they come away happy as well. And in this case, it's going to be a gift. I ended up picking up a Game Boy Color. And this is the first time I picked up a portable that actually had the back plate for the battery, and it was actually the same color. OG, pretty much the way it came from the store. So very happy that I picked this up, and this one is going to be a gift for somebody. I just need to clean it up real good. It is functioning. I put batteries in it. It just needs to get cleaned up. It's either been in storage for an undisclosed amount of years, or I have no other idea. But in my collection, I have a tier 1. I'm not really big on collecting the Game Boy Colors or every color, just like people go after the N64 colors. I have one. It works. I'm happy with that, because most of the time I just use my SP to play these old school Game Boy games anyways, because of the the screen not being as backlit as I want it to be. So that was a nice little pickup. And man, I lost count of how many of these I picked up. But most of the ones I do pick up are the R. Kelly edition. And what I'm talking about is, of course, Super Nintendo. This one's going to be a gift as well, but obviously I don't feel comfortable giving this to somebody in the condition it's in. So I'm going to tear it apart, clean it up, probably paint it, make it a 2-tone scheme, and then go ahead and give it away then after I test it, of course, and I make sure that it's working the way it's supposed to be. So keep an eye out. I might be giving this away in a contest, or I might be giving it away as a gift locally. So keep your eyes out for that. And oh yeah, last but not least, I picked up a fishing controller. So far I have a fishing controller for the Sega Dreamcast, which is awesome. But I had no idea there was a fishing controller for the PS1. And this specific piece here is from Agitech. But the only downside is it's not in the best of condition. So I am gonna take this apart, clean it up real good, and make sure I can find a way to put this back together without it getting any worse. So basically, thinking about it now, I think I paid 75 cents or $1. So that's not really too bad of an investment for the condition it's in. So hopefully, I'm going to cross my fingers. Hopefully you guys can help me out with that too, because I really want to be able to use this controller, but I can't use it in the condition it's in, obviously. Alright, next I wanted to go ahead and quickly get through the Sega pickups that I got from this Barnyard sale, and they're definitely, for me, some heavy hitter titles, only because I don't have them, and 2, it's even in retail stores or flea markets where people have their setups, maybe 3 or 4 out of these titles out of the maybe what 2, 4, 5 that I have, at least 2 or 3 of them are very obscure. So when I found it, this guy's Barnyard, for the price that he gave it to me for, I was very excited to pick it up. I didn't even want to question if he could go lower in the price. So let's go ahead and square that up. I was able to find a complete copy of Alone in the Dark: The New Nightmare. Next, I was able to pick up a copy. I don't know. I want to say that I have another copy of this, but I have so many video games that it's gotten to the point where I actually have to look at my phone to see if I have it, or physically check to see if I have it. But off the top of my head, I don't think I have this. Most, if not all, people would think this is a common title for the Dreamcast, but I like compilation discs. I don't know who doesn't, but I do. And this is Atari, the Anniversary Edition. Next up, this is one of those games I told you that I don't see too much. So when I did see it, I made sure to pick it up. It has a couple surface scratches. You have to test the game to make sure it works, but I'm hoping and praying that it does, because this game looks pretty interesting, and the game I'm talking about is Death Crimson. Alright, after that, I got myself a copy of Make an X. And last but not least, for the Dreamcast, what I picked up, I don't play RPGs a lot, but when I do, they're I could get into it for maybe a couple days, maybe even a week, but after that, I just lose interest for whatever reason. But like I said, in other videos, or any of my subs that know me, you know, I pick up those RPGs regardless whether I like them or not, because they make good trade bait. The one I'm talking about is Time Stalkers. It goes ahead and wraps up what I picked up for the Sega end of this episode. So let's go ahead and round third base. Alright, let's go ahead and check out what I picked up from the Nintendo side of things here. I was able to pick up 4 more original Game Boy games. Labels are in pretty good condition. One of these I already have, so I'm going to be passing it along or selling it for a really good price, whichever comes first. And let's go ahead and take a look. I was able to pick up Kirby's Block Ball. I have no idea what this game is like, so I'll have to get into it and see what it's about. But it looks like a game that I'd definitely be interested in. Next, we have another Kirby title. This one is called Star Stacker. Now, just by the name, I'm already thinking Tetris or columns type based gameplay. So it will be interesting when I clean it up and pop it in the Super Game Boy to see what it's actually like. The title I told you I was gonna sell or barter off is a classic game that needs to be played. If you've never played the Game Boy, then you probably never played this game. But if you do end up finding a Game Boy, make sure you get this game. You will like it. Not just for the gameplay, but definitely for the soundtrack. It has some really good tunes on this game. And the game I'm talking about is Super Mario Land. And last but not least, the last pickup for the OG Game Boy collection is Warrior Blast featuring Bomberman. That is interesting. I cannot deny that. Bomberman with Wario, that's definitely interesting, and that would be kind of cool now that I think about it for Super Smash Brothers. Is Bomberman in Super Smash Brothers? If not, he should be. That would be pretty cool. Leave a comment in the comment section if you know if that's the case. And I haven't played the Wii U or the Switch. I don't even know if they have Smash Brothers on the Switch yet. But that would be a welcome addition to the lineup for sure. Alright, let's go ahead and see what we picked up on the NES side. We already went through the Game Boy stuff as part of the Nintendo pickups for this video. Let's go ahead and see what we got for the NES. I was able to pick up another Tengen title. These are fun to collect because the cartridges obviously are not the same as most NES games, and you know, we both know, well, most of us know the history behind that. If not, go ahead and look into it. It's very interesting how video games, after the video game crash, adapted with the trademarks and the copyright infringement issues and all that. So it's very interesting research. Go ahead and look into it if you don't, or if you haven't already. With that being said, I went ahead and picked up a copy of Afterburner. Is this the better version? Is the Sega Master System the better version? Or is the one on the TurboGrafx 16 the better version? With this pickup, I only have this copy and the Master System version of the game, so I could only be biased to one or the other. And more often than not, I always end up going with the Master System copy. But me saying that is because I haven't played this game yet on the NES, and I'll be going ahead and making a comparison on it, and I'll be picking the one that I like more. When I make a video on the topic, maybe not. We'll see in the near future how it goes. Next, I got a minty fresh copy of Crystalis from SNK. Next, I only thought they had one in the series of this game. Apparently I was wrong. I was able to find, I mean, the label's seen better days, but still, for what I paid for it, it's pretty good. I was able to pick up a copy of Dragon Warrior 2 from Enix. Next, I have to make sure, because I think I have the first one but not the second one, or I have the second one and not the first one. Like I said before, I have so many games that it's hard to keep track. But I was able to pick up a copy of Gauntlet 2 for the NES. Gauntlet is an awesome series, one that is half hack and slash, half RPG element. Even though it's a little bit lower than most games, you would like to have that mix, but still a fun game to kill time with, especially with a friend. So my player is always the archer or the warrior for whatever reason. But yeah, pretty cool pickup. Next, this is a title for ImageSoft, and back then I don't think I would have picked it up as a kid, but now I picked it up, of course, going back because of the cover art stuff I was talking about earlier. But yeah, it has pretty cool cover art. Like, kind of interested in the game, but I'm for whatever reason, it looks like not gonna be into it, but still I needed it in the collection. So that game in question is Solstice: The Quest for the Staff of Demnos. And last but not least, the NES library was so massive that still to this day, I could look at some of these games and be like wow, like I did not believe, I had no idea this game even existed for the NES. And this is one of those games. It's from High Tech Expressions. Tom and Jerry: The Ultimate Game of Cat and Mouse. Like, you hear some other titles like Three Stooges or Flintstones or Jetsons, and you're like, okay, yeah, I can see how that works. But this cartoon, I remember being like prevalent in what, late 60s, mid 70s. So when this game came on the NES, one, I had no idea it existed, but when I came across it, I'm like, now I want to play it because I want to see what ideas they came up with for Tom and Jerry. I mean, are you only relegated to play Tom and you gotta chase Jerry, or can you be Jerry and you have to escape from Tom all the time? Or maybe it's a mix of both. But yeah, I'm pretty anxious to go ahead and clean this up and pop it in and enjoy it. Alright, last but not least, we're rounding third base. Let's go ahead and see what we picked up for the Super Nintendo. Okay, I could be mistaken, but I'm sure I got this for the Genesis. Either that or this is a duplicate copy, but this is a game that I'm doing my best to like, because I played maybe 10-15 minutes of it when I picked all this stuff up. But it looks like it's becoming a challenge to go and enjoy it, but I'm still going to make an effort to try to do so. That game I'm talking about is from Sunsoft, Aero the Acrobat. Next, oh man, when I saw this game, I actually thought it was Maximum Carnage, but it wasn't, because I have Maximum Carnage for the Genesis but not the Super Nintendo, so I wanted to pick it up just to say, hey, maybe make a video in the future, which one's the better version in my opinion. But no, this ended up being a game that I needed for the collection, and one that I've been playing ever since. Oh man, when I had back in the day, like early '90s, I had a Packard Bell PC, and this thing was massive. But it was one of the games that I did play the most. That and Wolfenstein 3D. The game I'm talking about, Doom. Now, I've seen a lot of videos, and you know, some people you probably watch on YouTube yourself, where they say that this is the best version. You had this one and the one on I think it was 3DO. 3DO, they said it was just as good, but on Super Nintendo they had the soundtrack right. The only problem they had was there was a little bit of a slowdown issue when you had too many enemies on screen. But other than that, very good translation from the PC to home console. So I was happy when I saw it, especially in the condition that it was in. And for $2, I'm not gonna complain, people. Next, another RPG, and you guys, you already know the drill. I pick them up, but the ones that I do have in my collection, that I have kept, is because I generally like them, and I'm hoping it's the case with this one. This was a pretty good pickup, one of my better ones, and that is Final Fantasy II. Man, that thing was so fresh and minty. Alright, last title for the video, and one that for whatever reason either I couldn't find at a good price point, or I just couldn't find at all. And which is weird because it's a Mario title, you know, and it's for Super Nintendo. I'm just happy that I got it for the price I got. I got it for steal, and I don't feel bad about it because I'm definitely gonna get my money's worth playing this with my friends, with my family. It's you can never beat the original, and what I'm talking about here, you already know, Super Mario Kart, baby. Alright, that goes ahead and finishes the video for this episode. Like always, I like to thank you from the bottom of my heart for coming to visit, for watching the videos, for sharing the videos, commenting on them, and staying on the channel. I don't have an extreme amount of subscribers. The ones that I do have, though, I know for sure that they are dedicated, they're good people, and they like watching the content I provide, even though it's not super extravagant or full of explosions or CGI renderings or anything like that. I'm trying to keep it simple. I'm trying to keep it hardcore. Hopefully I'm doing a good job of that. Judging by the subscribers I was able to keep all of this. I need to make it to episode 100, people. That is my goal, and that is the goal that I'm looking to finish by the end of this year. Hopefully. But yeah, like I said, you know, I appreciate your time, I appreciate your effort in watching the videos and sharing them, so it's always a plus. So with that being said, God bless, stay safe, and happy hunting.